Everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm going to do a little something different today. I haven't done any watercolor in a while, so I was like playing with some stuff this weekend, and yeah, I'm gonna do some. So this is a freebie that you will get in the description box below the video. We're gonna do the cat today. I already did this one and I'll show it to you. I decided not to do this one on video because it's pretty ornate and it took me a long time. But I'll show you what I did. So I've just taken like bits of random paper that we all have, book page. This is a piece of sewing tissue paper, more book page. There's a strip of ledger here, but it's hard to see. All you can kind of see is the pink. And then this is some number paper right there. So, oh, and more book page. Anyways, and then I took Tim Holtz Distress Oxides, and I used Vintage Photo on this one. Rusty Hinge is the rusty colors in there, but you know, I kind of like mixed them together. It doesn't matter. You don't have to stress about, if you don't have these colors, use some different colors. Scorched Timber is the little bit darker color, darker brown, and then there's also black soot mixed with the scorched timber a bit. So anyways, and then you go over it again with like a Sharpie or a micron fine point pen. I have this 02 micron that I used, and I also used a Sharpie to do the thicker spots along there. So you can see that one's kind of tedious, and it did take me a while, but it turns out pretty cool with the Distress Oxide. So I've painted before with Tim Holtz Distress Oxide, but like I said, it's just been a really long time. So I was like, oh, that might be a fun thing to do. So like I said, we're going to do the cat. So you can go grab your freebie. If you grab the freebie, please, please, please like the video. It just really helps my channel if there's activity. So it's kind of what I'm asking is, if you grab the freebie, please like the video as well. So what I have done is, you can see I have a piece of watercolor paper here. I've just paper clipped it on, and then I've gone over just kind of the singular lines of the sketch, the little sketch I did. So I just took a, where did I put it? My little Sharpie S-Gel pen, because that way it gets a nice image underneath, and it's that ball point, so it kind of makes the mark nicely. But first, I of course forgot to mention, on the back I used some charcoal all over it, but you can also just use a pencil. I just had this and I was like, that'll work. So but you can use a pencil color all over the back. You can see here, that's what I did to this one. And then when you trace it, you get, you know, kind of like a carbon copy, or if you have carbon copy paper. I just don't have any. So anyways, you can see I colored on the back of it there. And then when you do that, yeah, it's a big hot mess right now and it doesn't look great, but that's okay. It gives us an idea of where we're painting. Otherwise you're kind of like painting, you know, it's just hard. I am not good with scale. I will be the first one to tell you, scale is not my thing, so I struggle with that. So I like to have this type of sketch of it first, and if you're good at sketching yourself, then you know, you can draw whatever you want with a pencil or whatever, and then do a little paint, and then you can do the inking. A lot of people do the inking first and then paint. It's up to you how you want to do it. And I am not a watercolor artist. I am a paper crafter. So don't come at me if I do something weird with that, because I am not, I'm not saying I'm a pro watercolorist here. I just enjoy it, that's all. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. You can see I kind of did the double line for the windows. You don't need it. You just need your basic outline, and then you can do details from there. So I've put my Scorched Timber, and for this one I'm using Vintage Photo, the Rusty Hinge, Scorched Timber, Black Soot. I'm gonna use a little bit of this Forest Moss too. The Distress Oxides are just kind of great to paint with because the water makes them change, you know how it does. So, and I'm not going to tape anything. If you want to do that, do it. I just like to do my thing. So I am gonna spritz just a little water on it. And you can see already that black starts to go away. But after you paint and everything's dry, you can use an eraser if you're still seeing your lines or whatever. That's not a problem at all. I need to spritz these too. So how is everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. I am doing good. First thing I think I'm gonna do is get my little kitty cat sort of blocked in here. Get some color, and we're gonna have a black cat because if this turns out okay, I'm gonna put it in my little Halloween calendar journal that I'm doing. So I think that will be fun to do. But of course you can do the cat orange or whatever. So if you're wanting to not do it as dark like for Halloween, then you choose what color you want to do it. And they don't have to be perfect. You can leave some white space. That's always a good idea when you're doing stuff like this. You don't have to cover every little speck of what you're watercoloring. That's the awesome part about watercolor. It's pretty freeing, I feel like. I mean, it can be difficult too, but you don't have to do super mega detail. You can, of course, but if you're like just starting out, just kind of have fun with it. Put some color over your little sketch, and it doesn't even have to be within lines or any of that. The cat, I kind of am staying in there just because, you know, it's a cat. But you could do the sketch in ink first, add your color, and just put whatever color wherever you want it. I mean, you could do wild colors. You don't have to do, I'm doing kind of this old look, but you could use purples and whatever, you know, greens, and have fun with it. So don't feel like you have to do it this way. And I'll probably come back in and do more on him, but I want to get that a little bit dry. Another thing I think I might go ahead and do is take my Stabilo All and go along kind of one side of the window. And we'll see. I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm going to try. We're going to try some different fun stuff. Like I said, this is not my wheelhouse or knowledge center, so I'm more playing than anything. But I do love watercolor a lot. I kind of steal a little bit of that off of there. I don't want tons of water. Just to kind of maybe give you that illusion of glass, right? This one's pretty easy compared to the last. That door is pretty complicated, but I hope some of you give that a try, because it's just fun, and you can, like I said, do whatever colors you want, make it, you know, more detailed, or just do the pin sketch, add a little color over the top, and let it be. So you can see I'm not filling in every little spot, and that's fine. And get some other colors going too, just because that's what I like. If it goes out, let it. This is definitely a very loosey-goosey thing. It doesn't have to be high detail. So you can do this sort of thing at the bottom to allude to, yeah, that picture's moving on. But you don't have to have every detail of boards or whatever might be under there. Like you can see over here, I did some rocks or blocks, I guess you would say. And you can do them in color, whatever colors you want. And again, maybe leave a little white space. You can add a little bit of that green. Or you could do them in tans or, you know, whatever. Keep getting too much water. That is a problem that I have quite frequently. A little more brown maybe in there. And I probably will, you know, erase all that stuff that's around the outside. I didn't get as much of that on the last one I did. The only problem with the greens, when you get them wet, they kind of just go to yellow. That is one thing I have discovered with the oxides. Okay, I'm gonna do some splatters. Then I'm gonna get it dry and I'll come back and we'll do more to it. Because obviously you can see it is not done. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of this and go up here too. Just, it's moving on, you know. It's not all right in the picture, but you get the idea that it's still existing. And you can do as much of, or as little of the splatters as you want. Oh, I didn't even use the rusty hinge. I guess because there wasn't really anything rusty in this one. But maybe that'll give it a little pop. Yeah. Like everything's the same direction here. Okay, I'm gonna get this dry and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I got it dry. I did draw in the cat's eyes with a pen because I had to have my head right over the paper to see because they're so tiny. So yeah, I did do that. But we're gonna use the micron now, and I did erase some spots. Oh, and I added some drips, and all I did with that is I get the color on my brush, add a dot of the water and color, and then I just tap it to get those drips. So I did do that without you guys. All right, so what we're gonna do is go over everything that we did with the pencil, but we're going to well, we used a pen, but it made the marks with a pencil. All right, but we're going to add more details because we can now. And you'll notice, because my hand is shaky, I don't ever get like a straight line, so I just embellish on that because I'm like, I can't do anything about that. So it's just one of those, you just got to embrace it things. So actually, I think I might use my bigger Sharpie to do this because I'm not seeing much, and we'll save this for the cat. So I need to say a huge super thanks to Fern. Oh my goodness, Fern. This is the first video I've done since you were so kind and generous to me to leave me a nice tip on my YouTube channel. And she did that using that little heart, I don't know, icon, I guess you would say. Under the video, there's like a whole bunch of little things down there, the like button, and it's near that. But anyways, thank you so much, Fern, for your generosity, and I'm sorry that you didn't hear me say thank you sooner. But again, like I said, this is the first video I've done since you gave me that, so thank you so much. That was super sweet of you, and I appreciate it very much. So I hope you'll forgive me for not thanking you sooner. That's the only thing, when we film these videos ahead, a lot of the time, it may seem like I'm not saying thank you, but I really am thankful. So we're just going over, and I'm just making little extra marks here and there because I kind of want it to look like an older type window. I'm not wanting perfection. I'm not wanting it to look brand new. But if that's more your style, then, you know, that's what you should do. And you can use these how you want as far as these freebies. Paint them how you like, sketch them how you like, add whatever you want to them. That type of thing is totally fine. I really like the white space that's left. It's just, I think it's good. And everybody's got kind of their own style with this stuff anyway. Definitely don't try to use this Sharpie if the paper is wet at all, because Sharpies do not like the wet. I'm going to do kind of that double edge, and that just gives you more interest. You can keep it single or double line, I guess you could say. And you can see my shaky hand gets going, but oh, come on. These Sharpies are super cantankerous, so sometimes they're fabulous, and other times you just want to scream because it won't work the way you want. Kind of looks like it's a rainy day and that cat's inside. It could be a spooky day, it could be a Halloweeny time, whatever. But since we didn't add like light, you could do kind of a bit of a yellow or golden glow through there, and that would give you a little bit more of a night effect, and you could make it darker if you wanted to. I more just wanted it to look old so that it's like, it could be anytime, you know. It wouldn't have to just be Halloween. It's just really fun to do these. It's kind of like urban sketching, but using a photograph, because I used a photo that I found on Pinterest to sketch, and then watercolor. So even if you don't do a ton of traveling or whatever, you can still do urban sketching and watercoloring. Just choose an image. That's all you gotta do. The door is definitely more involved, but if you're not, you know, doing a video, it would be a lovely hot afternoon activity for sure. This is taking me long enough, right? Okay, kitty cat. We're gonna try a little bit smaller pen at first, just because I don't want to get it too thick, and then you can't see any of the details. And I can come out here a little further because I feel like I got his face a little skinny, or her face, whatever. I always say his because Pasha's a he, but I had a girl kitty, Miss Jules. And got some whiskers. And you can do more whiskers. I just did 2 in the picture because, again, you're using a pen, and sometimes you can get just blobular, you know, it starts to look like too much. This looks more like a gray cat than a black cat, but we can add more black. I just didn't want to totally cover my lines and be like, I can't even see the cat. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, Pasha, if you look on Instagram, well, when you see this video, it'll be yesterday, but I did a post because I was exercising and that little stinker was attacking my hair. He's definitely feeling better, so that's good. He's still not like 100% as far as his nose being, but I'm starting to think that that's just kind of where he's at this time of his lifetime. So I think those these lines that we did with the charcoal, I'm just gonna kind of go over them with the Stabilo All and kind of use my water. Where's my... Don't want to mess up what I already have, so... But I also don't want those to erase when I erase it either. Just make sure whatever you do that your pen that you use is permanent, because otherwise it'll obviously just come off if you get it wet, right? I'm going to add a little more black to the kitty cat. But it is a cute little kitty cat sitting there in the window, having a look. Sean and I always laugh. Sean is my husband. I don't say his name very often. I always say my husband. About Pasha, because he is so funny. He like purrs and sits right next to you, but then you go to pet him and he either gets up and walks away or he bites you. He's just the strangest cat I've ever had, really. I mean, sometimes he's lovey. Like this morning, he sat right next to me and just purred away, and I pet him. But other times, he's just like, you didn't say you could touch me. I'm just going to sit here and look at you and purr. And you're supposed to know what that means. They definitely all have their own personality. He won't ever sit on you. Like I've had cats in the past that, sit on your lap and stuff. He won't do that. That cat looks a little rough for wear, but I like it. It fits for what I'm doing. You can also take your Stabilo All and use it like paint. I want to leave my white spots in there, so I don't want to. Definitely don't cover your eyes of your cat, because that won't work so good. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone before I muddy it all up, and then it's no good at all. So I think that's pretty good. I like it. So I will sign it. Always sign your artwork. And this will go into that Halloween journal. Let me move these so I don't get ink all over that. It'll go in here somewhere. And I might trim it down a little bit further and maybe add more color around the edge. I don't know, like ink it more. But it'll go somewhere in here, either in a pocket or hooked to a page or something. But that's the plan for that one. The other door would go well in there too. Not other door, the door. Well, where did I set that? Oh my goodness. Like everything everywhere, y'all. Here it is. It would go in here nicely too. But I think I'm going to use the cat. You know what it could use is just a little bit of, just a little gesso. I'm just dropping everything. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh well, this one didn't get it. I didn't add the old paper. But definitely you can do that. It's kind of late now. I always have to forget something. Why is that? But you just add old bits of paper, and you've seen me do that like on playing cards and whatnot. Oh, this gesso is the weirdest stuff in the world. Just want a little bit of a white in the windows. Probably not even really going to be able to tell, but I guess technically I should go over the cat too, but he's wet. I'm gonna mess him up. Because otherwise he looks like he's not behind the window, right? All right. So I think once it's dry, it'll just give it enough film that it'll look kind of cool. But yeah, before, actually what I would probably do to work best, because I didn't totally like the way I did it on the door, but is take your piece of watercolor paper, add a few strips of book page or whatever here and there, and they could be bigger pieces. I did really small ones on that door, but you could do bigger pieces too. And then put your piece down to trace, you know, set it down on there, and then trace it, and then start painting, I think is the way I would do it. Before I drew it all out, and then I added the little bits of paper here and there, but then I was trying to get them in spots, and you know what I'm saying? So I would just put the pieces of paper down first and then do it. But, or you can do it without, like I did. So anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we will chat again soon. Love you guys. Bye.